Yes, people, what is going on? I hope you are all good. This is a bit of a different setup, a different look to one of my videos. So I apologise if this freaked a few people out. But today we're going to be doing a video about Ross Barkley. Obviously, the news has come out that Ross Barkley has gone to Aston Villa on loan for the season. And I think if you're a Chelsea fan like me, I think the vast majority of Chelsea fans, I think the vast majority of football fans are all a bit baffled by it. We we knew about the interest from Aston Villa on signing one of our central midfielders, Loftus-Cheek or Ross Barkley. And of course, the obvious one is you prefer Ross Barkley. So from that point of view, completely understand it. But I think a lot of people are really kind of, what's the word? Gobsmacked, really, that Chelsea have allowed Ross Barkley to go. Obviously, we kind of got a little bit of an interesting time coming up at the moment. Of course, we've got international break for the next 2 weeks or so after the game on Saturday. But after that, we've got a lot of Champions League games, and it's really interesting to see that Lampard has allowed Ross Barkley to move on, bearing in mind that we know we've got a lot of games coming up in the Champions League and, of course, the Premier League in the next coming months. We knew one of the midfielders was going to have to go, but I think a lot of people are now looking at it going, are Chelsea really going to let two midfielders go? Because Loftus-Cheek has surely got to be the one that moves on. Lampard said it publicly. He wants game time, and we understand that. And Chelsea want him to play, but we just can't fit him in our team. I think he's a good asset to have, Loftus-Cheek, but I think realistically, I mean, as he did when he went to Palace, he should be moved on elsewhere and start to build from there, if you know what I mean. Because he's been all right, and obviously he's had a terrible injury. So, I mean, it's a tough one, but unfortunately, it is what it is. He's been okay, Loftus-Cheek, but he's never been the same player that we saw a few years ago. Definitely saw whilst he was at Palace. And I think the main thing for me is he needs a move elsewhere. And I thought Villa was the perfect place for him. But now they've gone and got Ross Barkley. Just looking at the picture that you can see behind me, just looking at that now, fair play, Ross Barkley. It'll be a really good move for him. He'll go and get a lot of minutes. He'll get a lot of game time. He'll play for England. And he'll be a really important part of that team. And to be fair, a lot of people have said, oh, they're going to go straight back down. I don't think that's going to be the case for Villa, I must be honest. I think they'll be in a fight. But I think they're looking around about 14th, even 13th as well. They'll be all right. They'll be absolutely fine. I think it's a really good move for them. I think a bit annoyingly for them, it is on loan, so maybe the year after they're still going to have somewhat of a struggle. But the picture, you just look at it, it just looks right. It just looks right. You know, Ross Barkley going to Aston Villa, you know, it's a sensible move. But the only problem is that should be, and I'm looking at it still now, that should be Ruben Loftus-Cheek. That should be Loftus-Cheek. Where's he going to go now? Palace was obviously his connection. The rules state you can only have one player on loan from any individual Premier League club. Well, Palace have already got Batshuayi from us. Villa have already got now Ross Barkley. So who's going to come and take Loftus-Cheek? I don't think he's going to find anywhere. I must be honest. I think it's a really, really tough situation to put yourselves in, Chelsea. I must be honest. And look, as much as I like the idea of Loftus-Cheek going out and playing loads of games of football, the question has to be asked, where the hell is he going to get it? Where is he going to get it? He's injury prone. We know this. It's unfortunate, but it's real. It happens. Are people going to be willing to pay the wage or half the wage for Loftus-Cheek knowing that he could get injured tomorrow? I'm not sure. I really am not sure, especially with this such a fine time left in the transfer window. It's going to heat up, of course, yes. And West Ham is probably somewhere that I think a lot of people are suggesting he'd go, probably to do with the Declan Rice move coming the other way. But are they going to take him? I don't know. I don't really know. They whacked Wolves, obviously, at the weekend, which was gutting for me and my fantasy team, as I had Raul Jimenez, who scored 9 goals, as my captain. Thanks for that one, mate. But I just can't see the logic from a lot of people thinking, oh, Loftus-Cheek's going to go and find somewhere. I think this is, honestly, I think it's a really stupid move from Chelsea. Ross Barkley is a really good squad player for us. And probably he thinks he's more, and I understand that, but he would be perfect for certain points in the season, you know. A lot of people are saying, oh, the Champions League where he missed the penalty against Valencia, it's really annoying, da-da-da-da-da. Yes, of course it was. And I don't agree with him taking a penalty off Willian and Jorginho. But the fact of the matter is, if he were to come on in the last 20 minutes of that game and we had been ahead, just pass the ball around, he could have done that, even gone and snatched a second goal. Something along those lines. That's the thing that Ross Barkley can do in the Chelsea team. And let's be honest, you know, this is going to strengthen Villa. Fine. I mean, he can't play against us. That's the rules about going on loan. But still, the matter of fact is, we can use him. We can use him in our way. It's like Jorginho. I don't want to see him go to Arsenal because as much as we are struggling to use him, they're going to find the right way to do it. Now, that's, of course, a bit different to Ross Barkley because Ross Barkley's likely to play every single week and whatever. Jorginho, is he going to play? I don't know. Is he going to play every single week? But the fact of the matter is you don't really sell to rivals. Villa aren't a rival, so it's okay. But I do just question this. I honestly do just question this. Mount was absolutely knackered after last night. I'm not going to go into last night anymore. I did it enough last night. I was pissed off. But Mount did okay, but he was knackered. Havertz didn't want to play last night. You could see that they didn't want him to be involved and to be touched, which is fine. The likelihood is that Loftus-Cheek maybe becomes a third string backup behind Mount and Kai Havertz. I don't think it's going to happen. Kai Havertz and Mount are going to be number 1 and number 2. And then, of course, the white people are going to be white people. And then we can all go back to some sort of a normality. But I just question it. I just question it. With Ross Barkley, he can play a little bit more defensively if needs be. He can play a little bit more attacking if needs be. He is a central midfielder. That is what he is. He is a central midfielder. Where a lot of the time now in our team, we've either got attacking midfielders or defensive midfielders. We haven't actually got anyone like that you would call a middleman that can do a bit of both. And Ross Barkley was that person. So my kind of instant reaction to this is I'm not too happy that Ross Barkley's gone elsewhere. And again, I wish him the best. Of course, go and score loads of goals, come back to us, be a better player, hopefully. But I just question it. I really do just question it. And people may feel like I'm waffling on a bit, and I kind of feel like I'm waffling on a bit. But I just want to get this through. I don't get this at all. I do not get it. I get that maybe you need to cut down the squad, fine. But there's a lot of deadwood elsewhere. Alonso needs to go. Even Emerson, to be fair, obviously we can't let go of him because then we'd only have one left back in Chilwell, who we can't expect to play week in, week out, especially as he's only just come back from an injury. But even Emerson really needs to get moved on. I just question it. You know what I mean? I just question a few things that are going on. And that's not coming. It's not a Lampard point of view. It's not at this point of view. It's not at that point of view. Lampard's been told, would you be happy to let Ross Barkley go? Do you see him as part of your plans for the future? And Lampard said no. And I don't see him part of Chelsea's plans for the future. But again, this is for the future. For now, I think he's a really important player that I think we should be able to have on board. But the fact of the matter is we aren't going to have him on board. And it's just a little bit irritating for me, I must be honest. Is he the best that we've got in midfield? No, of course not. Could he definitely be useful to us given the right opportunity? Yes, of course he can. He's a perfect squad player. I really do like him. I know he gets a lot of stick by certain individuals. I'm not going to name them. Is he the perfect player? No, he's not. But is he a decent player for Chelsea? Yes, of course he is. Villa are getting a very good player. Chelsea are in a little bit of a rock and a hard place at the moment. What are you going to do with Loftus-Cheek? Is he going to go elsewhere? I think he needs to, but who's going to come and be a suitor for him? So, yeah, it's just my reaction, just my thoughts about what's going on. Again, I'm not going to go into the game last night. I wasn't happy about it at all. I thought Ross Barkley, to be fair, could have actually made an impact in that game, and I said that on the Blues Fan TV live stream. Mason Mount was knackered. Perfect opportunity for Ross Barkley, but there we are. We're out. Do you know what I mean? We can't do anything about it now. It's frustrating. It's annoying. But yeah, I just question this. I really do question it. Anyway, that's going to be it for me because I've waffled on and rambled on enough about it. This baffles me. It really does baffle me. Good luck, Ross. Like, fair play. But just questions asked all over the place. Anyway, take care. Stay safe. Up the Chelsea. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Champions League draw. Yeah, Champions League draw. Be doing a live stream for it. Come check it out. Take care. Stay safe. Up the Chelsea.